What is up, everybody out there in HeroClix land? This, once again, is Scott Porter back for day number 2 of our brand new HeroClix unboxing series for Marvel's Wheels of Vengeance. Yesterday, we opened 2 boosters. We saw a little Moon Knight on a horse. We saw a Ghost Rider, Johnny Blaze, in full glory, as well as some monsters and some fringe characters in kind of the mystical horror kind of realm of Marvel. And I came into the set not knowing exactly what we were going to get outside of, I would say, the Ghost Riders themselves. Alejandra Jones, Robbie Reyes, Johnny Blaze, Danny Ketch, Michael Badlino as Vengeance. I mean, there are so many people who have been tied into the mythos of Ghost Rider. Johnny Blaze and Zarathos, the original 2 that kind of appeared as Ghost Rider in the comics, bonded together by Mephisto of all people. So started to go, okay, let's start there and roll that out. Well, they have been all over Marvel for so long, but always on the fringes, you know. Yesterday, what we didn't really see was a lot of kind of Ghost Rider villains. I don't know, Scarecrow, Zadkiel, whether you have somebody like Blackout, the Deacon, you know, these characters that most mainstream Marvel readers wouldn't necessarily know unless you read the Ghost Rider stuff. I hope some of those villains do get to shine here. I think some of the bigger ones will definitely show up, and you know, the mystic realms, the dark dimension, the dream dimension, the nightmares, the Dormammus, which I know is more of a Doctor Strange thing, but Strange and Ghost Rider, you know, they cross paths an awful lot. So really the possibilities are endless because they're not just of Earth on this realm. They're actually realms deep all the way down into hell and everything in between. The furthest reaches of space we saw yesterday with Man-Wolf. So what are we going to see today? I am not so sure, and I am so excited about that. One thing I do know we're going to get is in every single one of these boosters, a double-based figure, which is somebody riding a vehicle or an animal. Yesterday we saw Frenchie, and it mentions vehicles in the game, so I'm not sure. Are we going to get some just generic vehicles? Are we going to get motorcycles? Are we going to get some themed vehicles? Are we going to get the Moon Copter, you know, Moon Knight's old helicopter? Are we going to get that in the game at all? There's a lot of pilot and vehicle mechanics that are playing nice together and different traits throughout the course of this particular set. So I'm just now my head once again is just winding up trying to figure out what else could we see in this set. Speaking of this set, it couldn't be timed more perfectly. It's going to be out for pre-release October the 25th, so the week of Halloween, this will be coming out. And I mean, we've got werewolves in this set. We've got zombies in this set. I would love to see more stuff in that vein. You know, let's get the big monsters out and about as well as these generic ones. I'm really, really excited to see what else they have in this set. And it's, like I said, kind of themey. So October 25th for pre-release, and sometimes around November 11th. Which happens to be my dad's birthday. So shout out, Pops. Happy birthday. The new Marvel HeroClix set will be coming out on that day. I know what I'm getting you. Yes, no, he's never actually played the game, but he does love it. He has some figures sitting at home on his computer desk. So anyway, long story short, it's time to go. It's time to rev this engine up and see what we get in today's unboxing. Day number 2. If you didn't see day number 1, go back, take a peek. See what you missed, and we'll be here waiting for you. Oh my gosh. Okay. One thing we did get yesterday that I thought was really, really cool is we have the new, what do they call it? Hero Glow. Hero Glow. You can see it on the side of the booster here. Hero Glow, and that's Zarathos, and there's Iron Fist there, and apparently the bases as well as some elements of the figure themselves glow in the dark. So I don't know who plays HeroClix, you know, without the lights on, but if you do, you can see these guys moving around the board. More than that, I know that different types of HeroClix fans out there. Some people are just collectors and love to have these pieces on their sets because they're big comic book fans and they love these really cool sculpts that they can put up on their, you know, bookshelves or their tables or their desks at work or whatever. Representations of their favorite characters and stuff. And so it's really cool that in this set you have this new Hero Glow kind of thing. In this particular booster, however, we have a Fire Demon, We have a vampire generic. That's awesome. We have Zarathos himself. Half of the original Ghost Rider kind of thing. Been separated by himself now. He's out and about. Mortal enemy, sometimes partner of Johnny Blaze and the other Ghost Riders. And then we have somebody I did not expect to see, but I guess I should have, because he actually plays a very big role. Not the one that we know nowadays, but the Orb. This is the Orb, and he plays a huge part in Johnny Blaze's story, actually. And a lot of people don't know that. A lot of people know the Orb as like the modern day kind of lunatic version of the Orb who can be seen running around with one of Uatu's eyes. You know, like that's how they know the Orb. But no, the Orb has a huge part of history that is shared with Johnny Blaze. So we'll get into that. There's a little bit less of story time with Scotty P on these videos because we just have a ton of stuff to get to, guys. Yesterday we saw the brand new Marvel starter set. We still have to get the dice and tokens, 2 different play-at-home kits. We got to get through all the legacy figures. There's a lot that still we had to get through. So I'm not going to do as much story time, but I think for the Orb, I definitely will. That being said, let's move into a couple of these generics, actually, that we pulled today. I didn't even think about the fact that we got a vampire here. If we got a vampire, Dracula has been in a bunch of different books lately in the Marvel Universe. Could we possibly see Dracula? If we've got a vampire generic, a lot of times we like to tie generics to bigger pieces later on in the set. You know, if you've got a common or uncommon generic like a vampire, you know, chances are maybe we're going to see Dracula or something later in the set. But let's take a look at his card. We've got Vampire Brood and Monster Keywords. Set number 9 has a trait Raining Blood. Vampire starts the game on click number 3. Steal energy. When Vampire uses it, he may heal past his starting line. So Vampire Dials officially back. Usually when we start seeing these things pop up, we have some big bads that can really use that particular trait as well. Really, really cool. Starting out with Stealth and some Blades, Claws, Fangs, some Shape Change, of course. If you get to heal past that starting line, you get into some Flurry. Can deal a lot of damage pretty quickly. Very, very cool. Okay, that is our first piece today, a vampire. And I'm going to put it squarely on the bad guy side. Yesterday, we didn't get a ton of bad guys. We got more good guys today. This whole booster is bad guys for sure. We got Fire Demon up next. Boom. And there you can go. You can see the new Hero Glow in full effect. These little translucent flames that are, you know, licking off the shoulders or flitting off the top of this Fire Demon's head and back and spine. Really, really cool looking. You'll get an even better look once the card pops up too, because it's a super close up on that. Fire Demon is Asgardian, Monster, and Mystical Keywords. Set number 8, fight fire with fire once per turn. When an opposing character deals damage to Fire Demon, if that damage wasn't from an attack after resolutions, deal that opposing character 1 penetrating damage. Okay, so poison definitely comes to mind on this. If the damage wasn't from an attack, right? Oh, wow, okay. Very, very cool. Mystics maybe as well. Dealing that character 1 penetrating damage. Woof. Once per turn, when an opposing character deals damage to Fire Demon, if that damage wasn't from an attack. Yeah, so Mystics might deal it, but poison for sure. And there's a lot of like different special attacks that can trigger that as well. But yeah, I don't want to ever take penetrating damage. And this thing's kind of nasty. 11 attack, Blades, Claws, Fangs. You look at the back there. Mighty Thor, number 21 from 2017 is what it says the significant appearance is from. But Fire Demons can be generic for anything. But now, this is the second kind of Asgardian piece that we have in here. So now I'm excited to see what else we could have with Asgard. We've got Sleipnir on the outside of the booster. That's Odin's horse. Very, very cool. Okay. What is in Scott Porter's cup today? Well, I'm dealing with a really bad sinus infection. So nothing fun today. It's just water. I'm just on that water, drinking that water, trying to get healthy, trying to get better. So just water today, kind of boring. And My house still under repair from the damages we had back in January. This is 9 months later. State Farm is so slow and is not interested in helping out their clients at all. Boo State Farm. I don't have any of my glasses that I usually have in these videos, so the only one I had was this. This guy sometimes rides a motorcycle. Maybe we'll get Captain America in this set, you know? He rides a motorcycle around sometimes. Who knows? Black Widow, she rides a motorcycle, right? Elektra, she rides a motorcycle. I mean, there's like Wolverine, motorcycle. Anybody that rides a motorcycle probably getting in this set. So I wouldn't be surprised if we get some version of Captain America in here as well. Maybe like the old 1940s version with that old cycle when he was just a mascot for a little while. It had like the shield on the front of it. I always wondered, how do you drive that thing? It has so much stuff on the front. How do you see over that thing? But, you know, anyway, he did it. Moving on. Let's head into Zarathos. How are you guys saying this? Now, like I said, half of Ghost Rider for a very long time in the Ghost Rider lore, it was Johnny Blaze and Zarathos teamed together. Sometimes he would get total control and he would make people pay. But the story of Zarathos starts a long time ago. As far as we know in recorded history, back when the indigenous people in the Americas had to even deal with this guy, giving sacrifices to him so he wouldn't completely destroy their villages. And Mephisto started to say, hey, this guy with this flaming head here that looks so awesome in this sculpt, he's taking too much of my real estate. Mephisto did not like it, so he brought Zarathos down into his realm with him and kind of put him to work a little bit, kind of imprisoning him but employing him all at the same time. And eventually, Zarathos ends up breaking free, but getting fused to a human in Johnny Blaze, and thus began Johnny Blaze's Ghost Rider journey. The two of them together. Cosmic, monster, mystical keywords. Set number 28. Screaming for vengeance. Free. Choose a friendly character. That character may make an attack, but only to target a character that, since your last turn, KO'd a friendly standard character or damaged Zarathos. Woo! Look at that dial. 8 clicks long. Running shot. Penetrating psychic blast. Invincible. You can play him at 30, or you can play him at that full 125 with that giant dial. If you go to the back, and this is why you know Zarathos even if you don't know Zarathos. He is the spirit of vengeance. When Zarathos attacks an opposing character that took damage from mystics since your last turn, he deals penetrating damage. Okay. If the friendly character that dealt damage from mystics also had this trait, Zarathos increases damage dealt by +1 during that attack. So we're going to see this spirit of vengeance situation everywhere. I'm guessing it's going to be on all the Ghost Riders. They're all going to be getting bonuses when they attack each other. It's going to be just pure chaos. Mystical defenses: stop, invincible, regeneration, settle it with violence, probability control, and enhancement. Again, this demon is rough. And you look back at the front of the card one more time, you see you got 2 stop clicks there on click number 2 and on click number 5. So definitely looks like it might be worth it to pay the extra 95 to get up to that 125 line from 30. Stop clicks, the whole thing. And there we go. A great take on Zarathos. And that sculpt is just, oh, that sculpt is awesome. Now, I know I said not too much story time. Listen, again, mainstream Marvel readers who don't delve into the Ghost Rider or the fringes of the mystical and the horror and the hell and all the different realms, they might not know exactly who Zarathos is. So I just wanted to give him a little bit of time. But the orb, I am going to do some story time on. So the orb, very, very cool character. And look at this sculpt. I mean, he's a stunt rider. People know the modern day orb more than they know that the orb actually started out as Drake Shannon, right? Drake Shannon was a partner to Crash Simpson, who was Johnny Blaze's mentor. There was a stunt riding show. These guys were together. And the orb, you know, Drake Shannon always had a little bit of a criminal bent to him. I ended up getting him in trouble back in the day. But back in the day, he got into an accident, was horribly disfigured, And a group of guys called They Who Wield Power actually gave him a motorcycle helmet that looked like a giant eyeball. It was actually a gift. These guys, They Who Wield Power, they're also responsible for some other ridiculous things that ended up in the hands of villains over the time. You know, not quite the crowbar from the Wrecker, but like a lot of these pieces that ended up in kind of villains' hands. And so the orb had a motorcycle helmet that allowed him to see everywhere, kept this disfigurement behind closed doors. And, you know, he wasn't out there as powerful as he is now, because now the version that we have of the orb, he was actually brought back to life by a demon. He was then found by Zadkiel and the Deacon and Blackout, and chosen to kind of help with the assassination of Ghost Rider. The orb that we have now, the lunatic orb that we have now, that actually has a giant eyeball as a head. That's no longer a motorcycle helmet. It's actually a giant eyeball now. And if we look at the sculpt again, imagine this is your head now. You know, so at this point, you know, this one was born with this head. This particular version of the orb, the modern day one, was born with that head. Was a little bit of a freak show, and was actually a part of like a traveling carnival. And like I said, was hired with Blackout, with the Deacon, to help try and assassinate Ghost Rider through Zadkiel. And it was very calculated, because Johnny Blaze, once again, he has a history with somebody who became the orb. So anyway, there we go. Story time with Scotty P. The two versions of the orb that we know of. And without further ado, let's look at the card. Assassin, Cosmic, Monster, Mystical, and Vehicle. I'm interested to see which one they think this guy is at WizKids. The Watcher's Stolen Eye. See, this is very modern day. This is why I wanted to tell you about the old orb story and about Drake Shannon, about his ties to Johnny Blaze. The Watcher's Stolen Eye. Orb's attack rolls of 1 and 1 are critical hits instead of critical misses. This is brilliant. When Orb attacks, you may replace one die in his attack roll with a 1. Once per game, you may choose that a friendly character's critical miss becomes a critical hit. If you do, Orb can't use this trait this game. Wow. Like I said, the Orb in modern times now is really known for you know, rolling around with one of Uatu's eyes after Uatu was killed. Nick Fury, that whole saga. And so that's how people know him now. But what a brilliant delivery of that story beat into game form. I love the critical misses, the eyes looking at you on those critical miss dice, becoming a critical hit. That's awesome. On the back, Stunt Rider in Another Life. Okay, so it's kind of a mix of both of them. Charge, Flurry, but only if Orb crossed the rim of elevated terrain this turn. When Orb attacks, modify his attack by +1 for each of the following he moved through this turn: hindering terrain, blocking terrain, characters. And if you look at the front one more time, you'll see, boom, he can go through elevated, through blocking terrain, through characters. He ignores it all with that improved movement. Yeah, and it says the appearance is Ghost Rider's Heaven is on Fire, which is a really, really cool storyline, kind of where Zadkiel has put himself into heaven. He's taken over heaven, actually. And Danny Ketch, Johnny Blaze, Sister Sarah, a bunch of other characters in the Ghost Rider realm, they storm the gates of heaven to get Zadkiel out of power. Very, very cool storyline. The Orb is definitely a part of that. Scarecrow, Blackout, all these guys. All those Ghost Rider villains. So I'm very hopeful that we get more of those guys that probably would never make it into another HeroClix set. There are certain characters I really want to see here because they just probably won't show up in other themed sets. You know, a big Avengers set probably won't have some Ghost Rider villains in it. So I'm very excited now to see that we're getting super characters that are super ingrained. But the Orb is a special case because, I mean, you know, he's kind of been all over the place lately. But anyway, they say the real name is unknown, but we all know it's Drake Shannon, and we don't know the modern day Orb, what his name is, but very, very cool nonetheless. Story time over. Hero Glow is on the special card here. When night falls and the moon rises, your Clix army will never look better. Fire up with characters like Iron Fist. Hero Glow perfectly highlights the mystical source of his power, so he'll look both awesome on and off the battlefield. We can take a look at that. And then on the back, ooh, use Blackheart's Brimstone or the Neuranium Trident, that's Damon Hellstrom's go-to weapon, to engulf your foes in flame, and it talks about fire terrain. So we're getting fire terrain here. We've seen some other types of terrain, grave terrain, ice terrain, etc., etc. Fire terrain is going to be coming to the game. I wonder who's going to be able to generate that and where you will get the fire terrain, but we'll have to get into that later. Okay, without further ado, booster number 2. Let's just get into it. I'm really fired up. Really fired up after... Oh gosh, guys, stop me. Please stop me. I'm on, I'm on Claritin over here, and I'm telling dad jokes like there's no tomorrow. This next booster, ooh, okay. Oh, awesome, okay. I thought this was a generic werewolf, but it's actually Werewolf at Night. I wonder which one it is. There's 2 different versions of that character. There's a more modern version, and there's the old version whose real name, I kid you not, is, well, it's Jack Russell. Yes, like the dog, like the terrier. That's the name of the character. Anyway, we've got Blade, everybody's favorite Daystalker. We've got Nightmare. Yes, okay. That's what I was talking about, the crossover with Strange and Ghost Rider. Nightmare, Lord of the Dream Dimension is here. We have, finally, our second vehicle rider. This brick is Elektra. I think I should maybe put them a little off-center. There you go. Yeah, Elektra. Boom. So, good look at the 4 of them. This is awesome. This really is cool. I mean, we should break out. Can we petition for HeroClix to come back? Because this set would play so nicely with all of those characters. This is awesome. Okay. I don't know where to start. These are all kind of big characters. I guess I'll start with Werewolf by Night, probably the least known, although the most storied of any figure that we got in this brick. Werewolf by Night has been around forever in Marvel, starting back in the 40s, and then actually, or the 50s, and then got canceled because the Comics Code Authority decided that werewolves could not be talked about in these comic books that were being sold to kids. So he was kept off the market until then, the mid-1970s, when they finally said, okay, I guess we can talk about werewolves in comic books again. True story, I kid you not. Werewolf by Night, Legion of Monsters, Midnight Suns, Animal, Monster, Mystical. Oh man, I didn't even think about the possibilities. Oh man, we could get the Living Mummy. We could get Simon Garth. We could get a lot of these Legion of Monsters characters. Elsa Bloodstone. Okay, now I'm getting fired up, guys. Moon, Harvester Blood. We've seen the Moon traits before. At the beginning of your turn, roll a d6 for all friendly characters with a Moon trait. Werewolf by Night can use the resulting effect until your next turn. 1 to 4, shape change. 5 or 6, modify attack by +1, and flurry. We saw that actually for Man-Wolf when we saw John Jonah Jameson yesterday in day 1 of our unboxing. If we turn it over, we see In Search of the Darkhold. Yes, Jack Russell is the name there. Woo! Leadership. When Werewolf by Night uses it and succeeds after resolutions, you may move a friendly character with the monster keyword 1 square. If Werewolf by Night is 80 points, he may instead move any number of friendly character with the monster keyword 1 square. Yeah. So they flipped the S's on that. After resolutions, you may move a friendly characters. The S is supposed to go with the character on the bottom. But anyway, any number of friendly characters with the monster keyword 1 square. Really, really cool. The way that he's going to play with the Legion of... Oh, now I'm like, for sure we're getting a bunch of Legion of Monsters, guys. Yes, this is so great. Legion of the Unliving, Legion of Monsters. Like, now the possibilities are starting to really open up for me in my head of what we're going to get in this set, and it's very, very exciting. Let's go to Blade next. Boom. All right, Eric Brooks, what you got for us? Avengers, Marvel Knights, Midnight Suns, Monster, Mystical, Police. Set number 3 comes in at 85 or 45 points. Daywalker, Super Senses, Willpower. Team player, okay. Doesn't have any other special abilities, but I mean, do you really need them when you've got this dial, hypersonic speed, blades, toughness, shape change, exploit weakness on the back with a bunch of steel energy? Yeah. And I love that he doesn't have a vampire dial. He doesn't have a vampire dial because he's pretty much full power all the time anyway. He's a Daywalker. That's awesome. There we go, Blade. Blade has made a big resurgence in Marvel as well. He was a part of the Jason Aaron Marvel Avengers run where he was recruited onto the team. There's a whole Dracula storyline, big vampire, whole reckoning for the vampires of the world down in Monster Metropolis, over in Transylvania, out into Russia. I mean, it was very far-reaching. It was a really cool story. I actually really dug that Dracula versus the Avengers kind of upsetting of the world storyline. There was this new team of vampires that were really dangerous and were really cool in the pages there. I don't think that we would get them in this particular set, but yeah, this is cool. Legion of the Unliving, I think, is what they were called. That's where my head started spinning going to. Anyway, Blade, very cool. It's been cool to see him more ingrained into some team books. But if you've never read Blade, go check him out. You know, if you don't know why Blade is a Daywalker, why this works for him, his mother, actually, while she was pregnant with him, was attacked by a vampire. And when he was born, he had that in him, but he's also human as well. He's that mixture, so he can actually be out during the daylight. All of the typical things that destroy vampires do not affect him at all. Makes him very dangerous indeed. Okay, next up, let's go with the Lord of the Dream Dimension, and that's Nightmare. This dude is just a bad dude, man. He is all evil. Cosmic, Deity, Monster, Mystical, and Ruler. Set number 13. Trait, Enter Sandman. Incapacitate. Opposing characters within range that have 2 action tokens can't have their action tokens removed except by clearing. So no leadership, no willpower, nothing helping you get free of those tokens. Infinite Dreams. Mind Control. Stealth as a special movement power. 7 clicks long, 3 targets, 6 range, which in this day and age of smaller maps, 6 range actually is pretty gigantic. 3 targets, and has that incapacitate. I mean, he can be tossing tokens everywhere, and you cannot be clearing them. He could really be locking down your team. I expected a little bit more, I think, but it makes sense, the 1 damage on the front of the dial there. He grows as he gets you further into his realm, as he gets you further into sleep. So that the first one is him trying to kind of get you into slumber, and then he's powerful on the back half of that dial when you're ingrained into his dimension, and that's when he really gets his hooks into you. Very cool. Nightmare. Okay, last but not least, Elektra. And this is from more recent, like the Daredevil series, I believe. Really cool sculpt, though. I love all these vehicle sculpts. Everybody knows Elektra, of course. Don't need to go in depth with her. Set number 37, Heroes for Hire, Marvel Knights, The Hand, Thunderbolts, Martial Artist, Mystical Vehicle, Pilot, Elektra, Daredevil, Martial Artist. Very cool. We've seen Pilot on a couple of different figures. This is really neat. I love the way this all works. When revealing your force, you may choose a single base character on your sideline that is named Elektra, Daredevil, or has the Martial Artist keyword, and turn it to any click. Elektra can use the standard attack and damage powers displayed on that character's dial. When Elektra is KO'd, before removing her from the map, generate the chosen character from your sideline on its last non-KO click. This game, that character can't be healed or replaced and isn't scored when KO'd. Protected. Pulse Wave. 80 points, 8 clicks long. Has a special movement power that we find on the back, as well as another trait. Through Other Eyes is the trait. Turn the character chosen for Electra's pilot trait to a different click. Okay. So unlike some of the other figures that we've seen in this set with pilot, whoever's standing on her card doesn't just get stuck on that one click. You can actually click to different spaces. Now you have to really start thinking. Your head's turning. What Daredevil, what other Elektra, what powers do I need? What gaps am I trying to fill? What do I think is most powerful? Very cool. Woman Without Fear, Hypersonic Speed, and Stealth. That is 8 clicks of that special power on her dial. Hypersonic Speed all the way down, Stealth all the way down. This is a really, really cool piece. And like I said, the appearance, Daredevil 29, when Elektra took over the moniker of Daredevil, she became Daredevil for a while there, and this is really, really cool. I love the sculpt. I love the powers. This is one of, I think, my favorite figures so far in this set. That is so cool. Man, I don't have enough space on this table for all these bikes and horses and vehicles. Can't wait to see what else we're getting. I mean, I know we've got a shark on the way because of the Namor card we saw yesterday. I don't even know. And then, of course, we're going to have this guy, too. Sleipnir. I'll show you the card that we got in this one. You see Sleipnir. You can give that a read. And on the back, it says Mount Up. And you see a bunch of different characters on the back there. So spoilers for what else we are going to be seeing in this set. Whether or not we pull it in the unboxing series here remains to be seen. But I love this. Carter Slade is prepared to wrangle and tangle with every outlaw, bandit, and crook plaguing the Wild West. Known as the Phantom Rider, Slade has fought to defend the frontier from evil forces that range from human to supernatural. Again, the fringe characters. Phantom Rider, that is so cool. But we've got a bunch of Old West characters. You know, you got Two Gun Kid, you got all these older Old West characters. This is really cool. Is that a Spider-Man on a horse? Is that Spider Knight? Well, look at that again. I don't know. You guys can pause and zoom in. That is awesome. Is that the headless horseman? Holy crap! Are we getting? Oh man! Oh, the headless horseman. That would be so cool. Oh, now I'm really man. I'm getting into the Halloween spirit right now. Woo! Oh, this is exciting. This is a fun set. You want to talk about like. Look, usually when I come into these sets, I have a pretty good idea of what I'm getting into. This set it's blowing my mind. There are so many unexpected things. I didn't expect to see Namor on a shark. I didn't expect to see Sleipnir on the side of the box for sure. I didn't expect to see, if that is the headless, I don't know. This is crazy. All right, something I do know that comes every time that we get a new set is a brand new dice and tokens set. This one has all of the different riders. You've got Spirit Rider, you've got Danny, you've got Johnny, you've got Robbie. You've got all the riders on here. And I just wanted to take a look at these really quickly before we move on and wrap up today's unboxing episode. I'll put the dice, and I'm guessing they glow too. I'm going to put the dice on the spinner here so you guys can see the flaming head that we've got. So cool. That is such a good looking set of dice. Really excited. You've got the flaming skull of Ghost Rider there. Really, really, really cool. I'm going to show you guys these tokens and show you the backs of them and see if we can get any clues as to who else we're getting in this set. That's something that we really love to do here. So, boom, dice are done. And the first token that we got is, it looks like Robbie to me. On the back here, we've got a Spirit of Vengeance popping out. Okay, who's going to spawn the Spirit of Vengeance? Very exciting to see. We've got another Ghost Rider here. Guys, I'm sorry if I can't tell you who's who. Let me look at this one and see if I can figure this out. Does this look like, no, is that Danny? I think that's more Danny. I don't know. There you go. Ghost Rider on the back, another Spirit of Vengeance. All right. Some good powers on these, though. Here we go. Who's this, guys? Tell me in the comments. I have no idea. They're all riders. On the back, I can always tell who Robbie is, and I usually tell who Johnny is. And Danny has his own thing too, for sure. But when I get into the Vengeances, the Michael Bedlinos, and the Kowalskis and all those guys, this is definitely Spirit Rider. And on the back of Spirit Rider is Lilin. Whoop. Okay, we got one more of those. This is Danny, right? He's got that bike with that front thing with the eyes on it. It's got the medallion up in it. We got another Lilin on the back of this. And last but not least, we have Johnny. This is Johnny, for sure, Johnny. And on the back of that, we have Sarah, Sister Sarah. So very cool. Excited to see her. I was hoping that she would be a figure, but I will take her anywhere that we can get her. Really, really cool character. You know, who knows what we're going to get in this set now, but when I see Sarah, now I'm all of a sudden thinking about the gun nuns. Yes, the gun nuns. They are protectors of portals to heaven and to hell. And yes, they're exactly what you think. They're nuns. They're dressed in all white. They are very learned in the ways of the guns. Yeah, they all are equipped to the teeth, and they fight with bullets at the gateways to heaven. And Sarah actually ends up being a gateway to heaven all in herself. There's another character that would be really cool in this set. I think his name is Mr. Pandemonium. He has a gateway to hell in his stomach. Yeah, so she's kind of like the balance to that. And there are a lot of really cool stories to read. But yeah, the one about heaven is very, very, very cool. So anyway, that's the Dice and Tokens pack that we saw for today. Tomorrow we're going to be back with 2 more boosters and with one of the Play at Home kits. Thursday for day 5 we'll be back with the other Play at Home kit, as well as 2 more boosters. And then Friday we'll be back for 2 more boosters, the final 2 boosters. And we will also be doing all of the legacy cards that day. Now I know one of the cards, one of the little flavor text cards in the set has a list of them already, but I want to save it for Friday because I love sharing that with you guys, and I love digging through my collection and seeing if I have all the pieces. And spoiler alert, I have all of them except one this time. 13 different legacy carded characters, old figures that have legacy cards now, and I have all of them except one. So can't wait to share that with you guys on Friday. As far as this set so far, we've only pulled 1 super rare. It was Johnny Blaze, Ghost Rider himself. But yeah, the Heavens on Fire storyline, go read it. Really, really cool. I'm hoping to get some of those characters. I mean, Zadkiel would be really, really great. A lot of the Ghost Rider villains, Blackout, Scarecrow, all those guys, would love to see them. Seeing Zarathos tells me that, you know, we saw Mephisto pretty recently. I'm not sure we'll see him here, but some other demons, some other big bads in that world, would love to see them. That being said, as far as, you know, heroes that are on mounts, whether they be animals or vehicles, I mean, endless. Where could we go? Where could we go? Let me know in the comments below, if you are a Ghost Rider fan, what your all-time favorite Ghost Rider story is. If you're not, but you're a big Moon Knight fan, I wanted to ask this yesterday. Tell me what series of Moon Knight is your favorite. Tell me in the comments below, because I want to read more. I want to, after researching for this set a little bit, after seeing some of these figures pop up, now I'm getting that itch. I want to go and I want to read more Ghost Rider stories. So tell me in the comments below your favorite Ghost Rider story or your favorite Moon Knight story, because I've realized I haven't read a lot of Moon Knight. I love ancient mythology. I love lore. I love all of this stuff, and I know a lot about it, but I haven't read as much of the characters that rely upon it in Marvel form. So let me know in the comments below. I will see you guys tomorrow. I want to say thank you for watching. Thank you for being here with me every single day throughout these unboxing series. It is a complete joy for me to be able to share these sets with you. Thank you to WizKids for sending me this stuff. Thank you to HyperRPG Studios in beautiful Universal City, California, for letting me pop into their studios and use their beautiful space. They keep on improving, keep on crushing it. They make me look good. Everything you see here, this giant screen behind you, the close-up cam, everything is all them. You remember when I used to shoot these videos on my iPhone? Oh my gosh, guys. Can we never go back there again? This is a palace of technological advancement, and I absolutely love it. So thank you to HyperRPG for having us here. I will see you guys tomorrow. Remember, this set comes out for pre-release October 25th or thereabouts. Comes out for actual release on November 11th. Call your local comic shops, call your local gaming stores. Make sure you find out when they're going to hold their pre-releases and when they're going to have the product in store so you too can share in some Wheels of Vengeance, which has just been kick butt so far. Can't wait to see more of it tomorrow, but until I do, may all your rolls be critical hits. Peace!